Hello guys, welcome to Tutor Homie. The channel is basically for quick revision of some common books. And with this video, we start with NCERT History book for 6th standard, that is our pasts, part 1. Let's quickly go through the condensed notes for this chapter: what, where, how, and when. So this chapter largely covers 5 topics. First is what can we find about past. Second is where did they live. Head they means the people. Name of the land is the third topic. Fourth comes out to be finding about the past. What instruments do we use for findings? And fifth is dates. What do they mean? So here we'll cover AD or PC. Let's cover them one by one. So what can we find about past is what people ate, wore, how did they build their houses, how did they hunt, and so on. This was about the first topic. The second topic is where did they live. So this topic largely covers 5 examples. Let's see them one by one. The very first topic is regarding the Narmada River. So people who used to live around the banks of this river were actually skilled gatherers. So skilled gatherers would mean they could find their food, beat plants, roots, or even hunt it for animals. Second is Suleiman and Kirthar hills. This was the area where agriculture is known to have started. This was one of the areas where agriculture is known to have started. So they started with wheat and barley. Wheat is the gehu and barley is jaw. Third part is the Vindhya range, which was near to the Nirmada river, and the Garo hills. So both of these regions were also amongst the first places where agriculture started, and especially rice had been started here. So चावल सबसे पहले यहाँ पे सो किए गए थे, यहाँ पे उगाए गए थे. Fourth region is the Indus River. So Indus River is related to the cities. The earliest of the cities built were along the banks of this river, which was in 4700 BC. Fifth part is River Ganga and its tributary zone. This is the tributary zone, and this area is related to Magad. The Magad was one of the first kingdoms, and this was in 2500 BC. So this was all about the topic where did they live. Let's move on to the next topic. Next topic is name of the land. So Bharat or India, there are two terms which are commonly used for our nations. Bharat had come from Rig Veda. It was written in Rig Veda and it was used for the people living in northwest. And India had come from the river Indus. So any traveler who would travel from western part of the world, western part, uh, called the region east to the river Indus as India. So this is in Indus River, eastern part, that is this, was called as India. So this was where India, the term had originated. Next topic is finding about the past. What instruments can we use? What things can we use to know about the past? First is manuscripts. So these were the books which were written by hand. So by hand, and they were written over palm leaves or bark of the tree. They were normally written about the common people or by the common people itself. So obviously, because they were written on leaves or barks, it left them to be eaten by insects or animals over a long period of time. So yes, they were not preserved uh, much, but yes, they could be preserved. Some of them could be preserved in temples or monasteries, and this is how we read them. On the contrary, second point is transcription. So these were the things which were written on harder surfaces like stones or metals. These were used by kings to tell their orders or announcements to be used by people. And transcriptions were obviously very easy to be preserved, but yes, harder to be written on. Third point is archaeology. Archaeology is a study of the objects which were made in the past. So there are dedicated specialist people which are called archaeologists who study these objects and also to read the languages of the past and then decrypt them. They decipher them for us. That's it about this topic. The next topic is dates. How, what do they mean? So AD and BC are two terms to signify the dates. Let's take up this example and put up the marker of 0. So let's say this is 0 year. So anything which is positive to 0, that is the current thing, is AD. This is Anno Domini. So officially this is 2015 we are living in. 2015 AD we are living in. And anything which is minus to 0 minus here is actually BC. So minus 200 would mean 200 BC. Minus 2000 years would mean 2000 BC. That's it about the dates. Let's quickly go through again the larger five topics of this chapter. First was what can we find about past. This was about what did people wear, how did they find food. Second was where did they live. This covered five regions. First was Narmada River. Second was Suleiman and Kethar Hills, where agriculture had been started. Third was Vindhya Range and the Garo Hills in the northeast, where rice started sowing. Fourth was Indus River, where earlier cities were built, and fifth was the river Ganga and its tributaries, one which was related to Magadh region. Then we had finding about past. We covered transcriptions, manuscripts, and also the archaeology here. Dates meant the AD and the BC. That's it for this chapter, chapter 1. Stay tuned, people, and subscribe to the channel. We will be coming back up the next week with the next chapter. This video is for anyone who's going through the NCERT books, be it the students of class 6 or even someone who's preparing for the government exams, for example, civil services exams too. Thanks a lot. Please comment for any suggestion.